understand to a certain extent, but specifically the TikTok I made was about situations where, like, I really trusted someone just to find out that they are completely, like, bad-mouthing me behind my back, like, not in good faith at all, and, like, talking to people that I would not want them spilling my business to, that have, like, no right to even be hearing about anything pertaining to me. So yeah, definitely a difference there. How's your day going so far? I'm vibing. This freaking question. Is Allie Brooke in a Christian cult? What even is a Christian cult? I don't know. Like, where's the line? When does Christianity become a cult? I don't think she's in a cult, guys. I don't miss being your age. Yeah. I'm starting to figure it out. Like, it's... just as far as friendships and everything, I've gotten a lot better over the years. I think it took being in some bad friendships and, like, being fucked over. That's what it took for me to kind of figure it out. But I think I'm at a point where I recognize when a friendship is not serving me or if it's just bad vibes. I don't know. Sometimes, like, you really trust someone and then you're, like, really surprised to find out that they're not who you thought they were. But usually that's not the case, and there was, like, warning signs and stuff that I just kind of ignored. So, I don't know. Do you wake and bake? When I'm on my period, I'm having cramps. I do. Or when I know that I, like, don't really have much going on that day, or if I, like, have a sleepover with someone and I wake up and we're like, yo, good morning. But yeah, not usually. If you aren't religious, how do you have peace about Landon? Asking as a non-religious person. You can be religious and still believe in an afterlife. Maybe not necessarily heaven or hell, but, like, I think everyone goes to the same exact place. I don't think there's a heaven or a hell. And I think it's really hard to explain. I don't really want to get into my, like, philosophy on death. But long story short, like, I don't know. We're all energy, and energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So, that's it, really. Have I ever been inside Zoe and Garrick's bus? I have not, but I've seen it. And I would love to go inside it. I don't really know where it's at as far as, like, the renovations. Blunts, J's, bongs, or pipes? Bongs and J's. I used to be about blunts, but I can't anymore. Too much. Garrick's using it as a music studio right now. I didn't know that. Ooh, sour. Sour blueberry. Did I split parenting 50-50 with Landon in Texas? I wouldn't say 50-50 because I had other things going on. I filmed and edited the videos. So when I was filming or editing, which took up, and we were doing 3 videos a week, so that was a lot. My flowers do be dead. I know, I gotta get rid of them. You know, when I wasn't filming and editing, I'd say we were like splitting it. But you know, he was definitely more of like a stay-at-home dad. And I was like a stay-at-home mom because I worked from home, but I like, you know, I was a working from home mom, I guess. So yeah, he didn't work. So it technically wasn't like 50-50. But, you know, if the roles were reversed and like Landon worked from home and I like didn't work and like watched the kids more, like literally nobody would bat an eye. But because like it was Landon picking up more of the work with the kids because I worked, we like always got comments about it and people being like, that's not right. I'm like, you're just sexist actually. How often do you smoke? Usually every night, but some nights I just don't feel like it and I don't. So mostly every night, but not always. How long have you been financially supporting yourself? I have been making money off of YouTube since I was 16. Actually, no, I didn't start making money on YouTube till I was 17. But before that, I nannied when I was 16, so I was like, I had my own money. And then I started YouTube, and at 17, I started making money, and then I moved out, like, probably 6 months into being 17, maybe less. Yeah, less than that, probably 3 months into being 17. But yeah, I've been like fully financially supporting myself since the age of 17, living on my own, paying bills. And like I said, Landon hasn't worked since he was 16. So yeah, I've been pulling the weight for sure. And I'm so grateful to have like YouTube as my career, and I don't know where I would be at without the opportunity. Does smoking help with anxiety? It's different for everybody. Like, some people get really anxious on it. And I have, like, when I get too messed up, I definitely can get really anxious. I think that's a possibility for anyone. But I feel like especially when people smoke for the first time, it makes them anxious. But once you kind of get used to it and you have more of a tolerance and you, like, I don't know, just have a little, it does help with anxiety a lot. Was it hard to go from 1 to 2 kids? I think if I hadn't been going through a lot outside of just parenting, like behind the scenes, just me and Landon, and where we were at individually, where we were at, you know, as like husband and wife, like we were in a really, really, really horrible place at the exact same time that we went from 1 kid to 2. So much so that like at like a month old, I like left that situation and like lived with my parents. My mom, for a while. And yeah, it's really hard to say. Like, I feel like the actual going from 1 kid to 2 part would have been a lot easier and a lot more seamless had the situation not been what it was. But yeah, I can't really say. Like, I can't really determine how hard it really was, because how much of that was just because of the situation itself and not just because it's hard going from 1 to 2. Have I ever taken a tolerance break? I have. I've come to find out that I don't really like, I don't know, I like not smoking for like 2 or 3 days and, you know, smoking again, like, but I like my tolerance. I like having a high tolerance to it because it gives me more control. Like, when I have less of a tolerance and then I smoke a little bit, then I'm like high, and it's like I literally just wanted to be a little high, and now I'm like really high. But when I have a high tolerance, I can smoke a little bit and like be a little, like be barely high, and that's like what I want in the first place. Like, I'm no longer at a point in my life where I want to be really high. I just want to be a little high. So yeah, I like having a high tolerance and being able to, like, because if I do randomly want to get really high, I can still. I just have to smoke more. What time do you wake up in the morning? I wake up at 7:30. Would you go to VidCon? No. I would not go to VidCon. I've been to VidCon before. It was a shit show. Am I still friends with Zoe? Yes, I already answered that. Everyone's like, what happened? Literally, nothing. Chill. I miss the Corvette TikTok. Me too, girl. Me too. Alright. Let's finish this smoothie. I hate when it like fills up all the way, but there's still a little bit of smoothie left, and it's like, can I just fill it all up in one cup, please? Now that song is stuck in my head, y'all. I'm sorry, but if Allie and Zoe still chose to be friends with Graham Cracker, even after that video, not really your friends. I have definitely learned to keep some friends at a greater distance than others. Like, you can still be friends with someone and not fully let them into every aspect of your life anymore. You know, like, I don't really think about it. I'm not really concerned with who Graham Cracker was talking to. I think it has to do a lot, at least for Allie, that, like, Allie's one of the most forgiving, empathetic people, and, like, to a certain extent, I can kind of remove myself from, like, my anger about it and be like, he has to have some really, like, he has to be, like, no normal, happy person makes a video like that out of nowhere. Like, the reason he made that video and it was so just diabolical, you know, he has problems. Like, he actually, like, it's not just that he, like, you know, said some bad things about me and I'm, like, upset about it. It's literally that, like, I honestly think to a certain extent was very delusional about the whole, like, it really seemed like he fully, wholeheartedly believed everything that he was saying to be the absolute truth, and he had no reason at all to believe any of that, because it wasn't the truth. Like he just, delusional is the only word. Like, he was living in a delusion. And I truly think, like, mental illness does play a factor in him doing what he did to me. Like, so much so that, you know, as far as the things that he said about Landon and that how I told him to do it and that's why he did it. I mean, first of all, there's absolutely no way of, like, how would he know that in the first place? And how, like, there's just, nobody was there except for me and Landon. So, like, nobody can sit there and say that. And, I mean, Katie told me firsthand that, like, she never, ever told that to Graham. Like, I don't know.